All right, greetings. This one's for you, Sagittarius. This is a quirky little playlist that we're doing here. And I felt Tarot Illumination is obliged to make this playlist because from my perspective, this is a really important calendar moment that we're dealing with here in March. I see it as a gateway. That's why I'm calling it Through the Gateway, or What Now, What Now, What Now. What I'd like to do is invite you to imagine yourself, you just won a ticket where you're already on a kind of a cruise ship, some kind of like magical mystery tour type of thing, doing things that you've never done before. And you're doing this deliberately because you want to venture into the unknown. You want to learn more about life and so on, which would be perfectly fitting for you, Sagittarius, anyway. So imagine you're on the cruise ship and you just docked in a new city, a new port, a new town, and the tour guide comes up to you and says, "Hello, everybody. Here's your tour guide for the day. I'm going to show you this and that. We're going to go over here. This is the local Fisherman's Museum. This is the local art gallery. This is the local museum of natural history for the area. This is the nature park thing. This is, if you're in a major city, like here's the Museum of Natural History and dinosaurs and rocks and whatever." And it's all new and you've never done it before. And Tarot Illumination is your guide. But not really. Tarot Illumination is actually just the person at the front gate handing you a brochure. But it's you have to go in and have your own experience. Now, the event is the same for everybody, but you experience it in a different way. So and that's what I'm trying to portray here. So with the Pisces new moon and the ingress of Uranus into Taurus, that's affecting us all in some way, shape, or form. My feeling is evolve, adapt, grow, or else, or wither, okay? Love Triber put it really well. Blossom or wither, it's your choice. So we are assuming the choice to blossom here, okay? So we're just gonna pull up a few cards, and I'm not gonna focus on this too much. I just wanted to show you this as a reference point. The Pisces new moon affects you at the very foundations of your chart: home, family, security, safety, the place where you sleep, the place where your closest people may be to you. And the ingress of Uranus into Taurus is over here in your 6th house. This is a 7-year journey. It's just beginning. This is just beginning. This is just beginning. That's why I see this as a gateway into the unknown, new starts and new beginnings. So this is kind of like one of those things where you blink. Basically, again, imagine you're just walking through the front gates and you've just received your brochure for the local, whatever it is, art gallery, tour guide, or whatever. And now you're proceeding forward and you look around you and you get first impressions. You take a blink, you literally blink, and what do you see? What are the challenges? What are the exciting things? What is new? What is weird? What is threatening? What is enticing? Excuse me, I need a beverage. Excuse me. Thank you for your patience, Sagittarius. So we're going to keep it really simple, short, and sweet. Now, to me, it's like a snapshot of what are the messages that you need to hear right now regarding having entered into this gateway, so that you don't stumble, trip, and fall, or get disillusioned, or lose track or direction, okay? Which would be very easy to do right now. Once we're done with that, we're going to pull one of the surrender cards, which is going to refer to what it is that we have to release in order to evolve and grow. And that, of course, is a very challenging thing to do as well. Bless the deck, bless every card. Bless you, Sagittarius. Bless Tarot Illumination, the channel, and all the bits and pieces that keep it together. Here is the situation. This is the snapshot moment. Here's the challenge with all of this. And here is the way to handle it, okay? So the camera went a bit wobbly then. I hope we don't trigger more wobbles. We'll see how we get along. And we're going to start with what's the weather like for you guys. circumstantial energy, environmental influences. And we have here the Seven of Cups. So my feeling is that this relates very, very closely to the Pisces new moon. Very dreamy, magical, weird, disorienting energy, which has almost no sense of direction, meaning, purpose. It's almost the energy of what goes on in the mind of an artist when they are in the zone, when they are receiving divine inspiration from above, and they're seeing their visions before it actually manifests in front of them. So my feeling here is that it would be very easy to be disoriented right now in the foundations of your life. Consider the Pisces new moon affecting you at the foundations of your life. Almost like, whoa, what's going on here? Who's coming, who's going? Why do the foundations of my life feel so nebulous, so, let's say, questionable right now? Again, I would see all of that here in the Seven of Cups. But also the beauty of this is the divine awakening, the divine inspiration, the divine vision, like the visionary energy. For all we know, Sagittarius, you might be getting glimpses of like a new home, a new way to conduct your life from the home outwards, because from the fourth house, it affects everything in your life, in your world. You might be getting some kind of divine inspiration there about what to do and how to do it. I'm not saying there's any kind of definition, but you're feeling it almost the same way that a musician or an artist or a writer would get that pulse, like, ooh, I've got something going. I've got a new song coming. I've got a new painting coming. I can feel it. I've got a new idea coming for whatever it is. I can feel it, whatever that might be. And it's very new, okay? So it might be very nebulous and not very well defined. What's the situation here? Okay, with the Knight of Wands, this is going to sound to me, this is going to sound a little strange because it feels a little contradictory to what I'm used to in doing readings. But my feeling is that, even though the Pisces new moon, let me go back to this just for a moment. Technically, all this Pisces energy in Western astrology, this is very challenging for you, Sagittarius, okay? But remember, you've got Jupiter on your side protecting you. So you're fine. You're absolutely fine. And so it's almost like you are divinely protected, divinely guided in some kind of way, shape, or form that triggers the energy of almost like weird, like borderline madness, like, oh God, I've got this feeling, I've got this. What am I going to do about that? So the situation is that even though it might be very challenging for you, the Pisces new moon is heavily squared by Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's your own energy. So can you imagine that? It's actually very inspiring. It actually, even though it's a technical square, in Western astrology, what it does, it actually triggers inspiration, like divine inspiration, but on a greater scale than what you're normally used to receiving. And my feeling is that this is actually a trigger. This is actually like this Pisces new moon and the Uranus and Taurus thing is actually a trigger for you to go for it. Like if you've been dwelling on all sorts of like fantasies or dreams or ideas about how you would like to restructure your home, reorganize, recalibrate, revisit, repurpose, see your home life from a completely new perspective. In other words, it's the same people, maybe the same location, maybe the same stuff, maybe your same things that you do in your day-to-day life, but you come at it from a new perspective, more from the perspective of an artist, and you see everything around you as like a palette, like of paints, like the characters, your furniture, your activities, your day job, the things that go on in your home, you start to see them from the perspective of, wow, this is magic. I am living in my own weird, bizarre magic kingdom. And that inspires you to actually want to take advantage of this. Take advantage of these energies in such a way that It takes you above and beyond your normal Sagittarian perspective, even though you have your default setting is the big lens, the big wide view perspective. My feeling is that we're taking it to the next level here. We're going next level where you are being, let's almost say, forced by this Pisces new moon to see everything from a much like crazier, wilder, almost like you're like the insane artist, the insane lunatic musician, the inventor, the genius card. I see this sometimes as the genius card, and then you get fired up and you think, oh my God, I've had all these ideas harboring inside me for so long, and now I want to go for it. This is finally my time. Everyone else might think I'm going insane, but I'm not. I'm actually tapping into my mission, and I'm freaking going to go for it. Now, what's the challenge with this? Everyone else might think you're going mad, completely effing loopy. So what's the challenge? Okay. This is almost like the loopy loop card with the moon energy here. My feeling is that you might be scared. You might be scared of the weird shifts that are happening to you, with you, at the foundations of your life, and your day-to-day habits. Remember, Uranus and Taurus is in your 6th house now, beginning a 7-year journey. And we are literally at the gateway moment right here of a 7-year journey. So you might be looking around you almost like befuddled, bedazzled, confused, overwhelmed, like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do now? Like the foundations of my life are changing, no question about it. And my day-to-day habits are going to have to change accordingly, no question about it. Oh dear, that's actually really, really scary. Uh-oh, I don't know if I can handle that. Oh no. But of course, Sagittarius, by nature, you are an adventurer. So you know that you're going to have to deal with it. Even though it might be very unsettling, I'm trying to paint a very jolly picture here, because I know, Sagittarius, you love to be happy. You love to feel good. You always like to look for the best and the most optimistic perspective in any situation. So I am trying to be like that Sagittarian myself for you and put the positive spin on here so that no matter how scary things are, it's actually good for you. This is what's happening here is good for you, even though it's taking you way out of your pre-existing comfort zone. And so you go for it. You might feel as though, like with this Pisces new moon and the Uranus and Taurus thing, going through this gateway, imagine from the very moment of we started the video, you're walking into an exhibition, an art gallery or something. And the whole idea is to get you tripped out and disoriented. In other words, doopy-doo, there you are, walking through your life, and you go through the gateway, and Tarot Lumination just handed you a brochure. Hello, dear Sagittarius. Please enjoy today's exhibition. You might find it disorienting. That's normal. Okay, thank you very much. Good luck, and there's no more clues. And then you go through the gateway, which is what's happening right now, and then you're inside, and you kind of go, whoa, what is this? What is that? What's happening? And that's what's happening. And it's scary. And the whole idea is that it's disorienting, but it's also a huge wake-up call, okay? Wake up, dear Sagittarius. This is a tremendous opportunity to basically shake apart all your habits, your lifestyle, your day-to-day activities that you do in order to get stuff done that has to be done, but doing it from a higher perspective, as though you are an artist, okay? Even if you're not an artist, that is the momentum here. Almost see your side. It's almost like, to me, it feels like the message is, see your life as a work of art. What are you going to do now as the painter in your life, as the artist in your life, and you have an infinite supply of raw materials, ingredients, paints, oils, whatever it is around you? What are you going to do now? What now? What now? What now? What's next? And that could be scary, because you might want to have something safe and predictable. It's not going to happen. All right, so how do we get to handle this? Okay, the world. Let's keep it very, very simple. whatever you thought constituted the foundations of your life, it's basically going to dissolve and something new is going to begin. You know, with new moons and full moons, it's beginnings and endings. It's almost like, does it even matter whether it's a full moon or a new moon? The thing about the new moons and the gateway moment that we have here is that it's the start of something very new, very weird, very different. So take advantage of it. With the World card here, the message is very, very simple. It's very, very clear. Please, dear Sagittarius, understand that everything as you've known it is no longer applicable, especially when it comes to the foundations of your life, the home, the family. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be, because fate and life and so on moves on. It just continues whether you like it or want it or not. So the way to handle it is basically admit that, oh, okay, well, I'm a Sagittarian. Let's just admit that life as I knew it from the foundations upward is over. So what now? What now? What now? Think of it as the end of an epic movie and the beginning of a new movie. Okay? Blink. You blink. There was your life before the gateway period. There's your life unfolding from the gateway period onward. I really do see this as a gateway, a doorway period in our astrological history for the whole year. And it's very vivid, very evident here. There's life before, there's life after. And this is actually at the moment right now, we're actually going through the gateway. This is the equivalent of you arriving at the exhibition, the art gallery, or the whatever it is. And you've got the brochure in your hand and you're kind of halfway reading it. And then you look around you and you realize, oh my God, I'm actually already in the building and there's weird stuff happening already. Oh my God, they were right. Oh my God, this is weird. This is weird. It's really, really trippy. But hey, welcome to your new life, Sagittarius. Welcome to your new world. All right. So with this very vivid message of radical endings, radical new beginnings as yet to be defined, you end up in a position of realizing, aha, this is the segue for Tarot Illumination to go to the other deck about surrender. What am I going to have to let go of in my existing world in order to allow me to move forward in my new world that is unfolding right in front of me in the very, very, very earliest stages of the very first chapter? Okay? Surrender is one of the hardest things for human beings to do because it goes completely contradictorily to our ego. And our ego wants to win, to survive, to succeed, to be happy, to feel good all the time. And then getting a card that basically says, how can you evolve, grow, and adapt through the power of surrender? The actual letting go, the releasing of stuff that doesn't work. It's an incredibly liberating phenomenon, process, and it'll work for you just as much as it works for anyone else. I'm just going to shuffle this up and cut it a little bit, and then we're going to pull one card. We're going to read it, and there's no big books that come with this deck. You can reinterpret however you want, and I'll give the Tarot Illumination a little spin on it, and then you're off on your own. Just keep going on your magical mystery tour, allowing that everything is almost like dissolving behind you. Every step you take forward, the steps behind you start to dissolve. And every step that you take forward from there, new land, new landscapes, new opportunities, new perspectives, new perceptions, new divine inspirations appear before you like magic. For this to happen, you need to have a look at this little card. This is actually a very tiny spread, a very tiny reading for a very big phenomenon. I don't really have to pick that one up because the top card is here already. Excuse me, I just made a bit of a mess. I'm going to tidy it up, keep it simple. This is your card, okay, dear Sagittarius. Surrender denial. Okay, I'll just read it from here. Accept people and situations exactly as they are, without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. With tarot illumination, decisions are pivotal. When we do those big spreads in personal readings about the heart, bringing the conscious self in alignment with the heart, eventually you get to the realization you have to be in the now. Your power is all in the now, in the moment, right here and now. And that can be very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people. So they do everything they can to avoid being in the now. And you might have your own variation and theme, dear Sag, on how you avoid dealing with stuff that has to be dealt with. So if you have been in the habit of basically compromising yourself or dumbing yourself down or recalibrating your perspectives in order to allow for other people, so that you, this is going to sound really rude, so that you don't have to evolve, grow, or adapt. In other words, just so long as you can stay in the comfort of the status quo, you're actually hurting yourself. So when this says accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties, it's very, very simple. Do that. Be in the now, be in the present, and see everything exactly how it is, really is, truthfully in that moment. And don't sugarcoat it with anything. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to others. Don't allow others to lie to you. Okay? And all of that, or put that into some kind of, repackaged perception of life, so that you don't have to figure out what you have to do in order to evolve, grow, and adapt. Okay? So when you see things actually very, very clearly, okay, this is how you stay in the power of now, and you make your best decisions from that point. The most important decision is to love thyself, of course. You know that already because you've been watching the channel. Sorry about the screen going wobbly. I think it's the camera focus. I obviously didn't fix it properly. With the surrender, the denial card, I think that's very, very much associated with the Pisces new moon here, where things are changing at the foundations of your life. And if you deny that, then you're just going to hurt. You end up hurting yourself. You end up putting yourself into a life of which is more or less of denial, an optical illusion, as though everything is okay when it isn't. It's much healthier to deal with the facts, deal with the perceptions exactly as they come to you. Treat that as an inspiration, no matter how scary it is, and accept that life as you know it is basically redundant, and the new life that is unfolding is the new life that is there for you. And don't deny it, okay? It's hard to do. It's very, very hard to do, because most of us, all of us, like to have something to hold on to when we go through these like fundamental, huge shifts. All right? Thank you so much, Sagittarius. I know you can handle it. Reinterpret this however you want. And thank you for being here. All the best. Do the routine, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. Do the subscribing. Please become a member. Anything that you can do to get involved, it's really, really great. Thank you so much, Sagittarius. Bye-bye.